Hello, it's Prep with Chigozie here. But today I'm not doing any prepping. I'm not teaching you how to pass SAT or IELTS today. I am here today to let you know that is it that English you've been speaking, that expression you've been making so boldly with all the Nigerian grammar you have in you, it is wrong, right? So today we'll be learning some of those common mistakes we make as Nigerians in our English expressions, and we like to call them Nigerian English. And that's the funny thing. I mean, from what, as far as I know, Nigerian English is correct English in terms of grammar. It is just different from the usual British English we were taught in school with respect to syllabic stresses. So instead of speak English with so much gusto and with so much tonality, just like we have in our normal native languages, right? But then wrong grammatical mistakes do not qualify as Nigerian English. Yes, so today you're going to be learning some of those grammatical mistakes, and of course I'll be dropping corrections, obviously. So yes, you want to hang in there for me while we do this today. I'll arrange these errors by way of a countdown, and I mean I'll be taking them from the least grammatically correct to the most grammatically correct. In the first place, I have the way we use couple as in a husband and wife. Oh, I met the couples at the market. The couples in my compound. So whenever you hear in Nigeria use the word couple or couples, please specify. Ask for clarity. Ask the person in clear terms. Is it one man and one wife you are referring to? Because often that is what they mean when they say I met the couples at the market. So hello, you do not say couples when you're referring to one man and one wife together, or you're talking about a boyfriend and a girlfriend together. They are both a couple, not couples. So you can use couples when you're referring to, of course, a gathering of more than one couple, more than one husband and wife. So for example, you can say that the couples assembled at a church for a group wedding. So obviously you're referring to one man, one wife in one place, one man, one wife in one place, maybe in 10 sets or so. Gotten right? Yes. The next, which can be the one I'm about to tell you now, is the one I hear it every time. Why? It's the way we use much. Yes, the way we use the word much. So you will hear something like, I went to the bank and the crowd was much. Or the people at the bank was much. You don't use much. Much is an indefinite pronoun that is used for uncountable nouns. So you can say I had much water to drink, or I had so much to drink, or I had so much alcohol. I am using much to refer to these things because they are uncountables, right? So because they are uncountable, they don't refer to them as much. Likewise, our use of plenty. Yes, the man is involved with plenty women. No, you can count women, so you don't use plenty. So much and plenty are used when you're referring to uncountable nouns. And of course, we're talking about liquid food. So I can say I had much food to eat. I had plenty of food. Or you don't say I met much people, or oh, the copies you gave me are much. There are many. So many is a better way to refer to a noun that comes many, right? You have more than one and it is countable. You use many. And I think the way we use crowd as well, you don't say much crowd. You can say the crowd is large, but I think it is a little tautological to say the crowd is large, because by implication of the meaning of the word crowd, you already are referring to a large number of people in one place at one time, right? Yes. And along with that is the way we describe queues. So we say the queue was much. No, it is a queue because it is a long line, right? So you say the queue was very long. Yes, the queue I met at the BRT station yesterday was very long. And this example just come immediately to me because it can be infuriatingly long sometimes. Yes. Now the next mistake we often make. We're down to number 3. Yes, the way we use better and we join it with more. So you would say the IELTS exam is more better than PTE exam. Mba, no. More is a comparative adjective on its own, just like the word better. So you don't join both, right? It is better to say IELTS is better than PTE. And I think much of this mistake comes from primary school debate topics. Yes, brothers are better than fathers. And I think those topics, thinking about them now, I'm like, Jesus Christ. They lacked specificity. So when you're making a comparison, it's important to be specific about what aspect to compare. So I think it is better to say that the IELTS is a more tedious exam than the PTE, or the IELTS is an easier exam than the PTE, but better is vague. It doesn't say anything specific. But the most important mistake I want to correct here is when we join more and other comparative adjectives: better, cheaper, it is more better, it is more lesser, it is more cheaper. Nah, don't do all of those things. Yes. Yeah, it's either lesser, something is lesser than the other, or something is cheaper than the other, or something is better than the other. Right? Very well. Now, are we down to number 3? Okay, number 2. Yes, we're doing a countdown. Number 2. Yes. This is an error I can forgive because, of course, you have to read. So I think we should read more, right? It's an error I can forgive. We often do it when we are describing locations, and I heard it most recently. I think I was heading somewhere and I stopped somebody to give me direction. The person is listening to this, sorry, I'm not going to call your name. I don't have to point this out, right? I think the person was making a comparison between where I was and where I was heading to. So I think I heard something like farther. Yeah, you have to go farther. But the person said it with a bit of stylistics and shakara. So I think she said farther. And often when we want to say it, we are not confident. Yes, we're not confident. So we couch it in shakara because we are not sure. Now, let me clarify that doubt you're having in your head. It is correct to say farther. Yes. My house is farther from the office than yours. Father, but it is not spelled the way you spell your papa that born you, right? It is spelled Farther. Father. Yes. You can also use further. When telling somebody, you're giving somebody direction and telling the person to go ahead, you can say go further, right? But it is even better to say father, and this is why, because the British would rather say father, and by extension, I mean, we're colonized by the British and we're taught British English in school. You should say father, right? Yes, and then further can also be used, but if it comes into your vocabulary when you're communicating with the person at the time, it is very much okay. But I think it is also important to acknowledge how you can use further too. So when someone is explaining a concept to you, you can say, for example, explain further, but you can say explain further. Further is typically used when you're talking about distance. So say it with more boldness next time. Tell somebody, go farther. My house is farther from the office than yours. Right? Yes. Down to number 1, drum rolls. Yes, we don't know this. And often when I use it in public, and I think I am guilty of the error too because of the public perception. So when I want to use it in public and I don't want to raise eyebrows, I just say the grammatically wrong one. And I'm referring to something like, if I was rich, or I wish she was here. Those are bad, actually. Yes, it is better to say if I were rich. Yes, because you're speaking in the subjunctive. Now, what is the subjunctive tense in English? It is the tense used when you're referring to hypothetical situations or wishful thinking, things that are not reality, they're not fact yet, and you're just wishing or thinking about them. It is often used when you use the word if, wish, right? So if I were rich, I wish she were here. Yes, it is better than to say I wish she was here. If I had money, not if I have money, if I had, because we're speaking in the subjunctive. So I hope this is helpful. Right? These are the most important ones. These are the most recurring ones I see. So I hope that you work with these and give little credit. I know it's not our papa language. Yes, the British English is not our father's language. But then if you're going to speak it at all, speak it better. I'm sure you'll be offended if someone were speaking Igbo wrongly. See, I just did it. If someone were Yes, it is not if someone were speaking Igbo wrongly, you will be offended, right? Because you feel speak it better now, you will Igbo. So I don't think if you're speaking any language at all, you should just give it a little honor. That is the grammar. The grammar. Yes, the grammar. Yeah. I hope this is very helpful. Until I see you again on another episode like this, where I'll be dropping important English nuggets. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for staying to the end.